Hey guys, it's Jack Ravel here from Life by Design, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to spot a fake coach. Let's go. So fake coaches, how do we know when they are and when they're not? And this whole industry, it's really confusing. If you're like me, I've been in this for quite a few years now, and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, what I want to do today is just talk about things that you should be looking out for if you are thinking about getting some coaching, or if you're looking to progress in your coaching, just anything to do with moving into this space, and whether you're hiring a coach or whether you want to, bring someone, do this for yourself, for example, then I'm going to give you some tips that you should be looking out for so that you don't get caught. Let's go. So number one, if a coach talks more than they listens, that's a red flag. Coaches are meant to hold space for you. They're meant to ask deep questions and allow you to be able to, I suppose, figure things out in a space that's environment that's non-judgmental and really easy to just get things out. All right. So first things first, if they talk more than they listen, that's a big warning sign for me. All right. So you've got to make sure that they are listening to what you've got to say. Second thing, which is kind of obvious, but it's got to be said, is no qualifications. Right. The industry is unregulated. I think a lot of people know that, but it doesn't mean that you don't have to study to become a life coach. Okay. Coaching is a very personal service. And if you don't know what you're doing, not only is it unethical, but it's just immoral and it's wrong. All right. I see things all the time on the internet, like $7 Udemy courses to become a life coach, or, sign up to this free course and you get a qualification in coaching. It's all a load of bull. I promise you, it's rubbish. I studied for 2 years. I did loads of hours. I had to do loads of coursework. And the reason I did that was because I wanted to learn how to do it properly so that I could actually help people. I think people have lost sight of what coaching actually does and what it's for. And ultimately, it's to help people get through things that they're struggling with or not coping with, or want to improve on or get better at. And so if you're not equipped to ask the right questions and to hold space for someone, then you shouldn't be coaching. All right. So make sure that you look for someone's qualifications. And if they haven't got them, I'd ask why. People that don't ask deep questions is just a fundamental flaw, in my opinion, on coaching. The reason somebody comes to you to explore something they haven't talked about before is because their mates and their family and their friends down the pub, or friends and family events, don't ask the deep questions that you are there to do. They ask what I call surface level questions, stuff that just kind of goes round in circles up here. What you do as a coach is peel back the layers, find out the real core reason for someone wanting to do something or not wanting to do something, and challenge your clients to be able to do that thing. Now, if you're somebody watching this who is wanting to pick up a life coach and maybe start working with one, then I would always suggest having at least a half an hour session with them beforehand, free of charge, just to get the vibe and find out whether they do ask those deep questions, ask things about, what they've been doing and what's worked for them and what's not worked for them, and just let them pick apart what's going on for you, but in a way that allows them to understand and be curious. Because if they're not understanding and curious, they're never going to help you with that problem. They don't support you. If coaches don't support you on your journey, and what I mean by that is that they don't, congratulate you when you've done something well, help you constructively find a way of doing something when you haven't done something so well, and just checking in every now and again. I mean, it doesn't take much. And I'm talking to all the coaches probably watching this. It doesn't take much just to drop your clients a quick message saying, hey, how'd that thing go that we discussed last week? Or here's a little email, or here's something I saw online that I think might help you, right? Support is what they are ultimately paying you for, but also what you pay for, right? Sometimes you need that person that's non-judgmental and also, non-biased in your life, like family or friends or whatever, that can help you with that specific thing, all right? The other thing that really frustrates me about coaches that they don't do, and this is one thing that I would massively look out for, is they don't keep you accountable. The whole point of a coach is to have someone that you can rely on to get you to where you need to go, right? And it doesn't mean they have all the answers. It doesn't mean that they're going to show you the way or map out the exact direction, but it does mean they have to keep you accountable for what you said you wanted to do. So what I mean by this is, if you said, hey, I want to run a marathon, then they need to check in with you every time they see you to make sure that you've actually been running, because otherwise you're never going to get to that end goal. All right. And you need to agree on the things that you say you're going to do, because then that way you know that you're both on the same page and that you're able to then move forward and get the goal completed. It's for both people's favors. You know, it's good for the clients, they get the results, and it's good for the coach because they also get results. You know, it's a win-win situation. I see so many people going into coaching relationships, and I speak to clients all the time who are like, I had a coaching relationship, didn't really work out, didn't really get the results I wanted. And it's just a shame because people are wasting money and it's putting a bad name on this industry, right? One of the other things that really frustrates me is when coaches think that they have their way and it's the only way, as in like they have their own agenda. So if you come into a relationship with a coach, or you're working with a coach and they try and make you do it their way, that's not coaching. That's mentoring. That's a totally different kettle of fish. You need to be able to understand your clients and understand how they work best. And that may mean that they're more of a visual learner or an auditory learner, or maybe they need to, you know, sit and talk and write things out. Who knows? But you need to get that out of your clients before you can move forward and have a really beneficial and productive relationship. There's no point working with someone if you can't help them. And if you try and pigeonhole them into the way that you do things, then, you know, that's not coaching, unfortunately. That is mentoring. That is a specific course. You might as well bundle it up on a video and sell it online like all the other gurus do, right? But one-to-one personal breakthrough coaching is so individual and so unique. You do not need, you know, you can't force someone into your own way of doing it. And the last thing I want to talk about fake coaches is something that's so easy to spot, which is just being unauthentic. You know, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people all online every day, looking, scrolling, flicking, whatever. And there are so many people that are just unauthentic in this space, whether their values don't align with what they're saying, or they just come across as too salesy or sleazy, or they don't believe in who they are and what they're doing, or ultimately they're just trying to get money out of you for the sake of saying they've got a client, right? That's just wrong, again, on so many levels. So remember, when you're trying to sign up with a coach or you're looking to work with someone, look at how authentic that person is, and do they vibe with that? Do you vibe with them? You know, I think that there's a big expression, people by people. You know, and there are hundreds of thousands of coaches in the world. So there's going to be someone that's going to work well with you. You don't necessarily have to go for the one that's Insta famous, or, you know, has millions of subscribers on this YouTube, or has, you know, does X, Y, and Z with such and such a celebrity. You don't have to go with those just because everyone else does. Go with the coach that you feel you connect with the most. And there you go, guys. That's my roundup of how to spot a fake coach. I've been Jack Revell. See you again. Life by Design.